Hello, beautiful human. Thanks for clicking on our conversation with Niall Horn and Ash, two incredible human beings and spectacular artists. A lot to talk about. Let's get to it. They'll be in the Zoom room soon. But first, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit like. And even if you hate us, I'm begging you, hit subscribe. Okay, here we go.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
You're curating a set, right? You're going to be doing a live stream concert for them.
Yeah, we're going to do a gig from the Royal Albert Hall on the 7th of November. Royal Albert Hall is like one of the greatest venues on the planet, and it was my first choice, and thank God they had us. They were going to have us. And we're just going to, every penny we make, we're going to give it all to first of all, my touring crew, and then what's left over, if there is, we'll pass around to We Need Crew, which is a fund here in the UK and in Ireland as well. Because they've been by the governments when they're part of such a massive industry.
An industry just like so many that is hurting right now. So I thank you for doing it, but also serving a need. I am hungry. One of the conversations I was having with Ash the other day, I've lost all tracking time. Everything feels like it was the other day, but it's not, you know? So I guess a few weeks ago, I don't know, but I was saying, in my opinion, Heartbreak Weather sadly was the most underrated body of work of the year, deserved way more love and attention. I mean, it is such top to bottom. I'm just so obsessed with it. And for me, it's grown on me throughout this quarantine and over the last few months. I mean, I still listen to Dear Patience every day. So it's like, it's really flawless. And by the way, thank you for the cover, Ash. Thank you.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite of the whole album.
That cover is better than the original. It's like, I mean, I would have liked to have gone around the world a couple of times and promoted it, but there's this virus going around.
Dude, literally,
people are wearing masks. It's crazy.
I mean, it coincided together because you were supposed to come on our show for album promo, and we ended up, you were the last guest that we had to cancel on, and it was tragic top to bottom. But ultimately, you're going to bring this body of work to life, but you have other albums to pick and choose from. So is it a challenge to curate the set list?
Yeah, I'm going to play a few from the first album.
Which one?
And then mostly, I mean, Slow Hands, This Town. I mean, you know, the obvious.
I'm
going to play mostly the new ones because the fans never got to see it at all. And so then they might never, based on, you know, whatever tour happens next and what music I might bring out next year or whatever. By the time I tour, I could have songs that push some of these songs out, you know, for the next set list. So I'm going to try and play as many of these ones as I can for now. And obviously myself and Ash are going to try and stick something together as well, which could be quite nice.
Y'all haven't met in person before, right?
No, we still might not be.
We may never. We may never
meet.
It might be the joke just for us to like be friends, but never, like, even if we're like at an award show or something, we just like avoid each other, never come into contact.
Sounds like a movie. Too long.
I know. True. I think your show is going to be so cool. I feel like Heartbreak Weather needs its moment.
It needs a few minutes, yeah. But anyway.
Niall, do you kind of wish the release would have went differently? Like, do you wish you would have held off, or are you happy with releasing it in the middle of March when everything started getting crazy?
How would you know? You can't predict that.
Yeah, you never know. Well, I mean, once I heard that I was going to get kicked out of the country, I was like, right, well, I would like to stop it now, but the time I decided I was going to stop it, the market was flipping in Australia, and they were ready to go. I think they'd nearly gone, actually, by the time I decided I wanted to cancel it. But, I mean, if I'd have cancelled it, that means in a real world, I probably wouldn't have brought it out until next year, until everything is clear, and then it's just an album sat there doing nothing. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad it's out.
Like, as an artist, that's hard to do. It's hard to sit on music for any period of time sometimes. But, like, the concept of, like, sitting on that album, not creating anything new. Have you been creating anything, both of you, at all?
Oh, Ash, you tell your story on here. Come on.
Well, I mean, you can tell your story. I've been finishing. It's close to being done, I think. My
You
first
said that
album.
for 6 months.
I know. I've been saying it forever. And it is like we'll get a song and then I'll be like, ooh, this is almost done. But then we'll write another song and then we'll swap out one that I was like, nah, this beats that. So
Do you, obviously the strategy has maybe changed since the beginning of that album journey, right? Or does it remain the same?
well, I don't know. I can't really, I don't know anything what we're going to do with the music until it's done. So I think, as it gets closer, we'll start strategizing and all that. But I really would like to be able to tour my very first album,
Yeah.
So I don't know what the world's going to look like next year. And it's such a crapshoot but I also don't want to finish an album and not release it for a year and sit on my hands. Like,
Well,
so,
but then
yeah.
you end up in the space of like, you're not going to not create for a whole year. So then you end up creating more songs that either is a separate body of work or could be added to that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a tough one because I think for me anyway, I would hate to release music right now. I kind of learned about that about 6 months ago. But like, if I had written a hit right now, I wouldn't want to release it until I could actually go around and see the world with it, because you release music to promote it so that the masses can hear it, and if you only can do the odd interview on Zoom, or no offense to this interview, the odd interview on Zoom, or you can't get into a TV studio to do a big performance, or all of that stuff. It's like for me, I can't even get into your country right now. Never mind get into a TV studio. So that's the way I would look at it. And you spend all of this time, and we speak about this all the time, guys, don't we, in interviews? We spend all this time nurturing these songs, and for them to be just released and just go like that is a bit of a letdown.
Totally.
Well, and everything's measured by a number at this point. It's like instead of real human people and faces, everything is a number, from streamings to what number you're on at radio to how many followers you have on Instagram. Every representation of success is a number. So it's very it's disconnecting. Is that the right word? Like, it makes you feel so separated from real people. So
do you feel like you're making music for data and numbers as opposed to a human being?
I mean, you try not to.
I try not to, but yeah, right now I suppose in a way.
Or do you make money, or do you make music for yourself?
Yeah, well, you would.
First,
I would personally like to get something that I love. I would love to parade it.
Yeah, no, you want it. You want it. It's your favorite child. It's your show and tell item that's shiny as. You want.
And we're big cheesy hams. Like, we love to show off our baby. Like, I want to play for people. I want them to scream the lyrics back at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a ham.
What the hell?
Dude, just I pictured a ham, but with like blonde hair. Your face became a ham.
The memes. I ran right into it. My own damn self.
That's so good.
But what you're saying is true. Like a massive part of the experience is lost. A massive part of what it means to put music out into the world just doesn't exist. A massive part of connecting with another human being doesn't exist. But I do say on the flip side, people do need an escape now more than ever. And even though I wish with every fiber of my being that Heartbreak Weather saw more eyes and ears, like through TV and all these other places, it really was a bright light to get me through a pretty dark time. Because it was just a great body of work to get, yes, it hit at the right time, but there is something to music to make it an escape, It depends on how you consume.
100%. And there was other albums that came out that I loved, and love them. Oh, jeez, or just kick over a bottle. Yeah, so I'm obviously in ways sad it was out, but definitely for that reason, that's the reason I'm happy it's out, because if you're one of many that would say that, which is good.
And I'm
Yeah,
excited
it's been
to
such
come
a
to life.
comfort.
Guys, let's say this does go on for a lot longer. We hope it doesn't, but if it does, how long can you hold on to music for?
I don't know.
You're the one with all the music, Ash. You do the talking.
You're gonna have plenty of music. I know you're writing and things. I know. I don't know. I think it's just such a day by day thing. You know, I'd love to have music ready to go as soon as, you know, something feels right. I have a few songs that I am just like the most excited I've ever been about, and I'm just, yeah, it would break my heart not to release them sooner than later. So we'll just see what the world does. But I mean, people need music, so regardless of what's happening in the world, people need music.
Is it wrong to say that there's more pressure on this upcoming release than any other release in your entire life?
Talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, you're the only one with a release coming.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I'm trying to. My relationship with music and my career has changed so much, just even in the last, you know, however 6 months, or since February is when everything really started changing. And I've had to, you know, look at creating music and being an artist in a lot of different ways. Because before, I didn't think any of this stuff would ever happen. And now that it's happening, my relationship with the music has changed so much.
How so?
So just, you know, when you don't think you're going to be super successful, you just create for you, no holds bar. You're just, there's nothing to lose. There's nothing, you don't think there's anything to gain, so there's nothing to lose. But when you have a moment of success, suddenly you're looking in the mirror and seeing what thousands of people are seeing and how they see you and what kind of music they want you to create. And you know, if the next record I release flops, imagine how the world will look at me. And I need to make sure that I'm okay with them looking at me like I suck, or them looking at me like I'm a genius.
So
like I need to be okay with both of those results.
You have to come to terms with accepting that. Like, what is that process like mentally? Do you just sit there and manifest, and not manifest, but like imagine what the world would be like if the song ended up flopping? No way.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be mentally okay with them not liking what I put out or loving it, you know. And I think we talked about this the last time I chatted with you, but like knowing that like my worth as a human and as an artist is not determined by my failures or my successes, you know. It has to just be sort of an innate thing. I mean, I'm not some enlightened human, so I'm definitely not there yet. If people hate the next record I put out, it'll suck. I'll have a really hard time with that. So I'm trying to get to a place where I'll be able to, you know, really juggle that feeling. But hopefully everyone will just love it. It's gonna be easy.
Go back to what you were saying at the start. I think like you notice that a lot of artists' best albums were their first albums for that reason, bands especially, because you're writing for yourself and you don't know what's to come. So that's why, like, if Ash wrote most of this album around the time she wrote Moral of the Story, we're gonna have some good songs. Because if it was all written afterwards, you know, I think that's what you're trying to say.
They're all songs.
Yeah. No, but you know, like if you the second album is nearly written for everyone else in a way.
The sophomore album that everybody worries about. And by the way, the cycle again you just came out of, right? So for you, Niall, is the creation of the second significantly different than the creation of the first?
Yeah, it was. This time I was definitely more driven by the vibe I felt. I'm always driven by the vibe I feel off a crowd. Like even with the band, I would always try and write songs, you know, for stadiums. Write songs for that kind of vibe. Or so with the first album, it was me sitting a lot of the time on my own with a guitar and a piano,
intimate,
at home, not knowing what the outcome was going to be afterwards. Then I just tweeted a link to This Town one night, and then out of nowhere I had this solo career that I wasn't kind of expecting. We just got the time of music I was writing. Second album, had been in front of a crowd for a year, and I couldn't wait to get back into the studio to because I remember the great moments of the shows were when it was up tempo and it was crazy. So I tried to write a few more up tempo ones, and you kind of start writing for everyone else. So this has been a good time to kind of reevaluate.
Do you feel like the second album is less of you?
Oh no, because I'm madly into all different types. But if I'm left on my own at the start, I'll always naturally just pick up an acoustic guitar and start picking. When I get into rooms in studio sessions, it becomes a bit more up tempo, and I love that because I was in a really good mood the year I was writing it. We did some really cool writing trips. It's so much fun. I absolutely it's all me in there. I would never release stuff that I didn't really like. It's just two different scenarios, really.
Yeah, and I think it probably isn't that you don't like, you know, the music or it's less you or anything like that. It's just inevitably you're a different artist post the success of your first album. I mean, right. we evolve as humans no matter what. And so, I mean, even, you know, going through this time in my life right now, and as I'm writing records, you know, if I'm sitting down and I'm like, I have the awareness that I'm writing for other people or for other people to like me or write what I think other people want me to write, I just stop writing. It's like, day is over, like start again tomorrow. Today's not going to be the day, you know?
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, but Niall, with your first solo album, it wasn't like a lot of other artists' first solo album. Like, you were coming out of one of the biggest bands in the world, so people had all these expectations of you, and what, you know, they didn't know what you were going to give, but they kind of knew who you were already.
Yeah, well, I think no one was shocked by my first move because they knew I was the fellow with the acoustic guitar, and I think now that's the way people look at me, the guy with the acoustic guitar, and the guy with the guitar in general. Because you have to remember, pop music around the time I released Slow Hands and stuff like that wasn't very driven by guitars, and is more so now. I'm not. By the way, that sounded like I'd made some revolutionary move with a guitar. But I mean, like, you know, at the time Slow Hands stood out because it was so different, and it was a guitar. So yeah, obviously I'd come out with the band and whatever, but I don't think anyone was shocked by what I did, which is good because then they know me.
It's good to be the guy with the acoustic guitar. That's
Correct.
The hottest guy. Don't be anybody else. That's the best guy to be.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of us surprised over moral of the story being as, I mean, obviously the original was a huge success, and now the remix has taken on like an additional life. Like it's kind of crazy, right? Or, I mean, for such a raw personal story, and we talked about it before, Ash, like I thanked you very heavily for bringing that song into the world because I think it talked to a lot of kids who needed to hear something like that, who may be watching their parents go through something, or, you know, they're experiencing it somehow in their own lives. But surprising to see it where it is today.
I mean, I knew it was special. Like, if you have a feeling about a song and there's like this innate awareness that you're like, this one feels different than all the rest, like, you know. And I remember sitting down with Phineas in my car and playing the demo to him, and him being like, this is the best record you have ever written. Like, and us going, this is different than anything else. And obviously him jumping onto the record the day I showed it to him, and like everything that happened from there, releasing the record and then it doing nothing for a year. I mean, that'll kick you in the butt. I didn't know if I could say ass. What was that?
That's how you know it was special and good. It stood the test of time no matter what. And even a year after you put it out there into the world, it still hit right. I
guess it just needed somebody to believe in it and to sort of give it its platform. But I didn't think I would be on pop radio with a divorce record. I mean, at some point we were like, this could work. So let's swing while we got the shot. And then seeing what it's doing, I'm like, wow, this is pretty weird. The whole thing's pretty stupid. But
when you guys first connect, what's that conversation like? Like, Ash, what did you tell Niall you were looking for in a feature?
I don't remember. Hi, Hi, it's Niall Horan. I don't remember. I feel like I probably tried to play it super cool and was like, yeah, man, like I'm super stoked that you're gonna try to sing on the song.
No, it wasn't at all.
I don't remember what I was
I know
like.
the idea or the song came to me through her old publisher, who's now the head, like one of the heads of A&R at Capitol Records, where I am, and she obviously knew Ash, and Ash came to her with the song, and the song came to me, and then me and Ash spoke, and I know it was pretty just like I was telling her how much I loved the song, why I loved the song, what I was nervous about while we were singing it, because we always talk about this. Singing a song with that delicate of a lyric is not the easiest thing to do. I mean, it could have been Adele, it could have been Ed, it could have been anyone, and this Ash still would have had the same nerves because it's a song about her actual life. So
Yeah.
thankfully she liked it.
How do you embody those lyrics? Like, how do you take it and make it your own?
Well, I try to think about it in the way I like when I sit down to write songs. The story, like I would like to think that I was a storytelling songwriter. I would like to think that I try and place a story as I'm doing it. So I try to think about it like if I was writing it, and I try to correlate it to something within my life as I was singing it. A lot of eyes closed, singing down the microphone type thing, trying to get the emotion out. But that can very easily go wrong if you don't get it and you don't get the song. Like I had to speak to Ash. I was probably chatting to Ash for a couple of weeks just on FaceTime or whatever before I even put my mouth in front of a microphone.
Really? What are you trying to learn from, like, what are you trying to get out of her that can make the performance better? I'm just, what do you need to know story-wise? Because the lyrics are very delicate and you are adding a verse to a story that already is being told.
I feel like even just getting to know me better probably was helpful.
Yeah.
Being on it.
Yeah, getting to know the ins and outs of the story that are not written in the song, and kind of like trying to make sense of it. Yeah, so I know a lot about it. I'll tell you about the divorce in another interview. Another day. Over a beer, guys.
My ex-husband will love that. Amazing.
Please buy tickets to Niall Horan's live stream. I'm going to be there. I'm very excited. Really.
Please come.
Jazzed. Are you going to be doing it live? Are you going to pre-tape it? What's the move? Yeah.
It's full. It's live from 8 p.m. here. So it's 12 at home, 12 in LA.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, something like that. 12 Pacific. 3 o'clock Eastern.
3 o'clock Eastern.
Is that your American accent?
Yeah, dude. No, I just come and watch. It's gonna be great. Like I haven't played any of these songs. By the way, I rehearsed for my tour for 3 weeks, and did song after song after song. Got to like the point where we had the set together, all of the crash and banging noises in between songs, segue in between songs. We had it all ready. We had all that kind of stuff ready for the show, and never got to do it. So we're kind of rehearsed. Just need to kind of brush up.
Yeah, get rid of the dust a little bit.
Right.
And,
yeah, you're dusty right now.
Yeah, Dusty Horan.
That's so mean.
Dusty Horan. That is a nickname.
I love that, Dusty Horan.
Guys, you see a lot of these different sports allowing like 10 to 20% capacity in the stadiums. Do you think that would work for music venues, or do you guys kind of need like a fuller packed place?
I think on the lower end, it's definitely possible. You could squeeze some people in, but I think on the bigger venues, by the time you pay the venue, the security, the merch, all the vendors, it's not viable for anyone, for the venue.
Yeah, and you're having to charge astronomical prices to justify opening the venue. It's tough. I don't know.
And the average person goes to probably 1.5 concerts a year, and can only afford. If you're a mum with 3 kids and they're all going to the show, that's you, 3 kids, their t-shirts, their drinks, their blah blah blah.
That's,
or it's a massive expense. So you can't really. I wouldn't ask people to do it anyway.
Yeah, we have to be respectful of the fans. People listening.
And until then, we do live streams, and they come from amazing venues, and you can really build out a set list? Maybe, I don't know, how long is it going to be? An hour, 2 hours? What are we doing?
Yeah, there's a production company that's been doing these kind of virtual. A few people did it. Dermot Kennedy did one. I think Liam did one. There's been kind of like there's been a production company that's been doing them. So I'm going to play for like an hour and 10 or 15 or something. Try and make it as fun as possible. And if you're in America right now and you don't know what the Royal Albert Hall is, just Google it and you'll realize how beautiful this is going to look on camera. I'll be an eyesore in the middle of the screen like I am right now. But it is an absolute stunner. And the guy who's directing it, the guy who's directing the show, the Paul Dugdale, he's known for he did Reputation, Taylor Swift's thing at Stadium show. He did the One Day movie in Milan. He did Adele at the Royal Albert Hall. So he's anything big from this country, he's been directed by.
So please,
Oh my God.
watch. Tickets on sale now. We're going to put a link in the description below so you can buy it. Very exciting. And remember, the purchases of these tickets, they go to help out your crew and then crews all throughout Europe. And by the way, this is an industry very much affected that really could use our support. But also at the same time, we get a great escape and we get great live music. Very exciting. I appreciate the two of you very much.
Dusty Horan.
Dusty Horan.
Dusty Horan.
Ashlyn Wilson.
Oh, Dusty and Ash. That's kind of funny.
Oh, that's our side artist.
Dusty and Ash.
Dusty Ash. Dusty
Oh.
By the way, peace and love to both of you. Niall, I wish you many safe bike rides.
Cheers,
really,
bud.
really scary. I don't know how you do that. You ride your bike around London. That would freak me out.
Yeah, no, this is the first time I've worn normal clothes in a few weeks. It's usually just Lycra and Borat costumes.
Just spandex.
Yeah, just pure spandex constantly.
Peace and love to the both of you. Ash, you're so close to me, but I say hi. And thanks for changing up the background. This is a new background, right?
This is just for you. Yeah, I moved.
It used to be it was the kitchen before.
It was my kitchen. Yeah. Now, I don't know. We're mostly in my living room. I lit some candles for your ambiance pleasure.
Oh, it really hit the spot, dude.
Yeah.
Wowie. What a treat.
Yeah. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot going on, but it's the only background I have. So. Peace and love to you too. It's so good
Please
to
vote.
see you.
Vote for America.
Yes.
Vote.
Please vote. October 22nd, you want to get your mail-in ballots in by then, or vote November 3rd. We'll also put that link in the description to check your registration status. Rock on. You guys are amazing.
Dude.
Have a great day. Hey, beautiful human. Thanks for watching our full interview, but I get it. A full interview is a lot. So we got a clips channel. We don't expect you to watch the full thing anymore, so we just gave you the highlights. Please subscribe and notifications and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I love you.